What's up, everybody? It's Onorato Company on the road again. Saturdays in Saratoga. Chris Onorato, Ashley, her Saturdays take her back to the TV station. So I got my guy Dan Tordjman in the house from America's Best Racing. We're live at Clancy's Tavern on Caroline Street in Saratoga Springs. It's Whitney Day. We'll break into all of that with Dan's handicapping. He's one of the best in the biz. You definitely want to take note of what he thinks will happen today at Saratoga Racecourse. And he's a huge Mets fan, lifelong Mets fan. We'll get into what's going on in Queens this year. Yeah, you got to keep the prayers coming for the Mets this season. Let's get things going here on Onorato Company.
This is Onorato Company, brought to you by Alpin House.
Shout out to all of our local business partners here on Onorato Company. Our Saturdays in Saratoga brought to you by Pick 6 Vodka. Look for the new label. It's out everywhere now. Pick 6 Vodka. The sponsor, the Pick 6 Paddock at Saratoga Racecourse as well. All right, Dan, thanks for hanging out, dude. It's been a minute. We're going to tell a story about our internship connection as well, because I teased that on the weekly show. So we'll go back in time and see how much of that you remember the way I remember it. But let's talk about Saratoga, man. You're back. We're all kind of back. It feels normal again. On Jim Dandy Day, there was 38,000 plus there. This will be a huge day, too. It's good weather. It's the Whitney. It's a win and you're in Breeders' Cup Classic opportunity for some really good horses in this race, and we'll break down the field in a moment. But how's it feel to be back, man?
It feels awesome. A lot of times when you talk to people about sports in general, they always use that old Jordan line. This is the mecca of insert sport. But Saratoga truly is the mecca of horse racing. And so to be back in full force, the energy you feel, even just walking up and down Caroline, just incredible. We just went to Mrs. London's, had like an incredible strawberry cheese Danish thing.
Yeah.
Again, one of those, just check off boxes. Got to go to Mrs. London's. Got to go to a bunch, our favorite places. There's great beer and wine. There's anything you want you can find here. And of course, the racing is unparalleled. So.
All right. So did you already answer my question? What's the best race course in the country? With America's Best Racing, you get to see them all. Yeah. And I'm not putting you in a tighter spot by asking you best race course in the world, because you've gone international with ABR. But how about the best race course in the country? What makes Saratoga special?
Yeah, I mean, look, this is up there. Saratoga on the East Coast, then we got Del Mar on the West Coast this time of year. It's truly like and it's a great bridge between the Triple Crown season with the Derby, Preakness, Belmont, and then all the way to the Breeders' Cup. So it's hard to pick just one. Obviously, we're both from up around here, so I think Saratoga is, it's near and dear to us. And for a racetrack experience in terms of quality of racing, it's hard to find the kinds of horses we're going to see on a day like today at any racetrack. And so it's just loaded. Even the Whitney field today, it's a small field. There are only 6 horses, but 4 of them are Grade 1 winners. Really rare to see that. A 6-horse field, 4 Grade 1 winners, other graded stakes winners in the race. So the quality of racing here, you can't match anywhere else. It's spectacular.
So he kind of hedged his bet with that answer. We'll pin him down to some actual picks when we get into the races here. But we know how much you love Saratoga, and you know how I feel about it as well. Best places to go in town. You said Mrs. London's.
Yeah.
Where do you go? You're a bit of a beer guy. Where do you go to get a good beer?
I mean,
what's your spot?
Druthers, I think, is spectacular, and I was so glad to see, that the setup. There's one at the track. You could go and get Druthers at the racetrack, which is great. But you can also get it here on Main Street, and then also Henry Street Tap Room has been all reliable, right? And they have the best, I think, sort of selection and variety. I remember a couple of years back having some Westbrook sours there, and I'm like, ooh. This is different. This is new. This is fun. So if you're a beer snob or, like a connoisseur at least, Henry Street Tap Room, I think, provides you the best variety.
I know a guy who might have had a Westbrook goes with you there sometime long ago. It's been a minute, dude, that you and I have had the opportunity to hang out, man. Thank you for doing this. All right, when we come back here on Onorato Company, quick time out here. We're back in less than 30 seconds. We'll get Dan's picks in the Whitney. in the test and in the Saratoga Derby, the $1 million Saratoga Derby. Of course, we're looking already ahead to the Breeders' Cup Classic today because of the Whitney. Back right after this on Onorato and Company.
Alpenhaus RV is celebrating 58 years of family fun and camping during our anniversary sale. Shop big anniversary savings on an even bigger selection of RVs. Choose from new 2022 Avenger travel trailers for $194 a month and new 2022 Colorado travel trailers for $228 a month. Plus, all 2020 and newer RVs come with our exclusive lifetime warranty. Proudly serving you since 1964 and generations to come. Don't miss our 58th anniversary sale at Alpenhaus RV.
And now back to Onorato and Company, brought to you by Alpenhaus.
All right, back live. Clancy's Tavern, downtown Saratoga Springs. I mean, it's 11:09 a.m. I walked in maybe 20 minutes ago. The place was already buzzing, ready for Whitney Day. Look out, Saratoga Racecourse. Look out, Ciro's Horseshoe, and downtown after the fact. Had a little bit of a later night at Ciro's than I should have last night, but the dinner is so good there, so phenomenal. Man, we had a great time at Ciro's. And then onto the Horseshoe, of course. All right, let's get into the event of the day here. And it is, of course, Dan, the Whitney Stakes. A lot of me always wants to still call this the Whitney Handicap, which it was for a number of years and is no longer here. It's the Whitney Stakes now as a Breeders' Cup Classic win, and you're in. Some video from the draw earlier in the week. Just on this, which horse is maybe in the best post position? Does it matter in a 6-horse field?
It usually doesn't, but I think what you look at is where speed horses are drawn and who can maybe put some pressure on another horse depending on where they're drawn. And so logically, Hot Rod Charlie from the 2-hole is going to probably go to the lead. And then you have a horse like Life is Good drawn outside of him, which is ideal because he could then kind of make a call, or at least the jockey could, Irad Ortiz, can make a call like, do I want to go with him? Is he going too fast? Should I put a little bit of pressure on him to keep him honest? Or do I kind of stay back? And let's see if another horse wants – you can make – you have a lot of flexibility from that outside draw. So I think even for a small field, there's some flexibility there. That being said, I think Life is Good as a standout regardless. I think he could have drawn the 1 or the 6, and he was going to be your heavy favorite here. And, I think it's probably going to win this race. Now, if you do want to, kind of throw a little shade, or you want to say, hey, should we doubt this or doubt that? The horse has won 7 of his 9 races. His first loss came here at Saratoga last year, and then he also lost going going a mile and a quarter, 2 races back, so going longer when he was in Dubai. So again, here he's being asked to go a little bit longer. If he goes a little too fast early, if there's a stumble out of the gate, all the ifs, then that opens the door potentially for somebody, maybe coming slightly off the pace. And I think the one that everyone's talking about there is Olympiad, who's a really, really sort of up-and-coming progressive horse. Hasn't beaten this level of competition, but he's headed in that direction for Belmont.
Okay, so if it happens, he's on the trail to do it today, potentially. I know a lot of people are like, hey, Life is Good. You said it, the heavy favorite. Where can I maybe maximize my dollar, maximize my bet, find some value? And even an Olympiad maybe does that. But we're going to get into some exotics here, right? Because in a 6-horse field, we want to win some money. And I can't necessarily just do that by picking a straight winner. So we'll do that. But let's look at the field here in the Whitney this afternoon. 5:43 post time on NBC and News Channel 13. You mentioned Hot Rod Charlie out of 2. You think maybe right to the lead. Life is Good on the outside. Pletcher's going for his 4th Whitney win. He's got 3 entries, so a good shot at it. Half of the field is his. Give me an exacta here, Dan, that you like.
Yeah, the exacta that I'm hammering, I'll just tell you straight up. I'm playing Life is Good over American Revolution. American Revolution has won race at Saratoga. It was one of his better races early on. He won the Albany Stakes, again, against lesser competition. In his last race, he sort of chased home Olympiad, but he's the kind of horse who I think, looking at sort of the Pletcher cycle, this is his 3rd race off a layoff. He should be cranked up for his best race. And I think he sits a nice trip. I do think Hot Rod Charlie's going to go. I think Olympiad's going to be close. And I think Life is Good is going to be right up there with them. I think whichever horse or horses back up, American Revolution is going to sit on the rail and has the best chance of potentially sneaking up past a couple of those horses who are chasing.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. And maybe the answer is American Revolution, but if Life is Good doesn't win the race, that's because which horse beats him?
It's because Hot Rod Charlie gets out to a super, super loose and comfortable lead, is able to settle things down, doesn't take any pressure, and is ready to just fire a big race. I think Hot Rod Charlie is the classiest horse in this field aside from Life is Good. And so Hot Rod Charlie, for me, I think is scary as a wire-to-wire potential horse. And he's 9-1 in the morning line. I think we'll probably get him about 7-2, 4-1.
Okay, so if you're going Life is Good on top, American Revolution, how do you round out your trifecta?
If you want a crazy horse who's super consistent, it's Happy Saver, and I think he's a fair price. Look, I could see Olympiad completely running out of this. I think that he might be chasing the pace and get discouraged and kind of drop back. So I'm looking for a price or two underneath.
Yep.
Happy Saver for me has run well in his 2 Saratoga starts, has also run well at this distance, and is always right there. I mean, he was second to Flightline, who's like the freak of all freaks in the Met Mile last out. And so, and he's always coming late. He just does not run a bad race. He will be there. Like I can tell you, Happy Saver will finish in the top 3. I like him finishing 3rd today, but I wouldn't be surprised if he finished 2nd. I don't see him winning though.
Speaking of Flightline, I put Terry Finley from West Point Thoroughbreds on the hot seat opening day at Saratoga on the air. I'm like, hey, what's next for Flightline? He's like, well, we haven't really mapped that out yet, but sounds like he's going to be out west, I would imagine, right?
It sounds like he's going to be out, October 3rd? Yeah, so he'll be out there, and we're excited. I mean, we see him as Life is Good is right up there. It's in the conversation of the horses right now who are potential superstars in racing. And as America's Best Racing, we market the sport, we promote the sport. We want to build stories and tell stories around the superstars. Life is Good is a superstar. Flightline could be something like we haven't seen maybe since an American Pharaoh in terms of just sort of super, super elite level horse.
I love it. You see Dan's information on your screen there. Go follow him on Twitter at DanonymousMan. And ABR Live is the best place to find them on Twitter as well. You see the info scrolling on the bottom of your screen. Tom says Saratoga is the best track in the country. He's from the Albany Rensselaer area. Sam's watching as always. Sam, good to see you. And Carol couldn't make it in person. All good, Carol. We know you'll be watching if you can't be here in person. All right, how about the other 2 races on the card? There are 5 stakes races, but there are 2 on the card, I think, outside of the Whitney that a lot of people are pumped about, and that's the Test, and that's the Saratoga Derby. Let's start with the Test, Dan. How about your picks in these 2 races, if you just want to give us even a winner for us to – because, look, ultimately, fans want to cash tickets.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
You want a big profit at the end of the day, but if you just go up and cash a ticket, that feels pretty good. So how about some winners in the Test or the Derby? Yeah,
look, so the Test is a race where you got a heavy favorite, and I know you said people want winners, but they probably don't want 2 to 5 winners. Matareya on the rail has just been dominant, right? She's won 4 in a row. She's won easily. For me, though, and one of the gentlemen was here earlier just kind of talking about, who should I bet later on? I think you got a very logical exacta in this race, too, with a bit of a price horse. And the price horse is Wish You Well. It's a horse who ran once earlier this year at Gulfstream, won easily, came back in an allowance race at Churchill, but over a real sloppy track, was the favorite that day and ran terribly. But you could make the logical connection. Like, you could look at this horse, like, so if that horse finished 10th in that race, why are they bringing her back now in a tough spot here in a grade 1? It's because she's doing really well. She's been training lights out. Buzz, that there's a little bit, the word is out on her a little bit, but she's 12-1 on the morning line. I think you might still get back an $8 or $9 exacta here. You play that for $10, that's $90. Yep. So I am 1-4 in that race. Matareya, Wish You Well, hammer that exacta cold.
Cool. All right, Saratoga Derby. It's a $1 million race here at Saratoga Racecourse. One that's been added within recent years and one that just continues to get pumped up. What do you like here?
So we have 6 horses, the top 6 finishers from the Belmont Derby returning in this race. In that race, Classic Causeway wired the field, went to the front, stayed there. I think Classic Causeway is going to take a little more pressure here today, so I think it opens it up for a couple of horses. One of them is the 4-horse Nation's Pride, who close to finish 2nd in the Belmont Derby, and the other is the 10-horse Stone Age. If you want a bit of a long shot, I like the 7 Royal Patronage.
Billy Blake. You know Billy Blake? Billy is a horse racing expert as well. Likes Elm Drive.
So he likes
test.
Yeah, he likes Elm Drive a little bit. Look, I wouldn't talk anyone off Elm Drive. Another horse who has got some early foot, so I think I could see her being kind of up close to Madureira. And if you think there are going to be two horses running around the track 1-2, it could be them. So I wouldn't discourage anyone from that. Like I said, I think I might get a better price on Wish You Well. And I think there's something sneaky about finishing 10th and then showing up in a grade 1 race that makes me, like Wish You Well a little bit better.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's take another time out here. When we come back, we'll ask Dan about ABR and its impact on the sport of horse racing, as he said already, connecting fans to the game in a way that no other group is doing or has ever done. Back right after this on Onorato Company.
Teams, athletes, organizations. We're transforming the custom apparel industry through product and purpose. Claim your crown.
Fire, water, smoke, mold, and sewage cleanup. Reconstructing your home after a disaster can be both stressful and demanding. KPM Restoration will work quickly to restore your home. We'll help provide complete damage restoration to your property.
My problem was that I was traveling. There was a leak in my basement. We called KPM. They came in at 9 o'clock at night and were there till 2 o'clock in the morning until the problem was solved.
KPM Restoration. We'll get you back to normal.
And now back to Onorato and Company. Brought to you by Alpenhaus.
Live from Clancy's Tavern, downtown Saratoga Springs, Caroline Street, where all the action happens. Look at the beautiful new label on that Pick 6 vodka bottle. You see the signs in the paddock at Saratoga Racecourse as well, the Pick 6 vodka paddock, and our people, Holly and Adam and Serge, doing big things there locally with Pick 6 vodka, and now all over the state and ready to break into Florida for sure, I have no doubt. All right, Dan, ABR, man. 9 years now with this great company that connects, as I said, fans to the sport of horse racing the way no one has ever done before. I always think, like, as ABR, are you a member of the media? You are, but you're an extension of the fan more so than the traditional media would be, which I think is really cool. The opportunities you guys afford fans. If you're on the grounds at Saratoga Racecourse at all this summer, look for people with the logo. Look for ABR, ask them how you can get involved in some of the great opportunities that they provide for fans. Why is what you guys do so successful?
Well, first of all, thank you for that. And also thank you for teasing me with that vodka in front of my face. I mean, I know it's early, but
it's not too early, yeah.
Well, we are at Clancy. So, so first, again, thank you. And I think what we do, we do marketing and publicity essentially. So not like sort of traditional media, but we create media that anyone can consume. So whether you are, you like betting on sports, whether you like just watching sports, you don't know much about horse racing, whether you know a little bit about horse racing, you have someone who's like, who knows a little bit about the Derby or the Triple Crown, or whether you're someone who's been in forever, if you go to americasbestracing.net, the website itself is laid out in a way that there's stuff for beginners. They're sort of, I've got some experience with them, and they're experts. But really what we've tried to do in recent years is take a lot of the content that we create. We've got a talented video team, great writers, and we try to bring it to people where they are. So on their cell phones, we create content specifically for people consuming on mobile. On social media, we've blown up this year on TikTok, which again, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not like a big TikTok guy personally, but Rachel Miller, our new marketing head, she has just done a great job building that platform. And so we're trying to grow in areas where younger fans and where new fans might be. And we've got a great strategic marketing agency behind us as well. And I think we're the first group who has consistently, we've tried a lot. We've taken a lot of swings. We've missed with some stuff, but we keep swinging. Yep. And I think the stuff that we've missed with, we've also learned from. And so we've wheeled back new ideas. And the other thing that we do that's fun is that, we try to get people involved with like a very sort of like low low level of clearance. So like you don't have to do too much to get involved. Just recently, we gave away tickets and a VIP experience for someone to win a trip here closing weekend to Saratoga.
Awesome.
That's a dream trip for a lot of people, just coming to Saratoga for a weekend. So took care of that with food at Salt and Char and Morrissey's. So we hooked that up. And then we've got the Fan Choice Awards right now, giving fans a voice in voting on their favorite everything in horse racing. And we are going to pick winners from that contest, from people who vote, to win a range of prizes as well. And so we just want to keep giving to kind of get people in, give them a taste. And, it's been a lot of fun along the way. We love this, so it's not really work for us. We actually love this. So
Exactly. Sam says, big day of baseball today. Mets Braves, day-night doubleheader. Sam's a big Mets fan.
Yeah.
Sam, we'll get to that in a second here with a lifelong Mets fan,
Oh, yeah.
Dan Tordjman. One last thing, though, on ABR. And a huge following, guys, on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook. Dan just said TikTok. I'm new to TikTok. I'm figuring it out slowly. But follow Dan on Twitter as well. Big following there where you'll get a lot of his expert analysis. Coolest place ABR has taken you?
It's a good question. I mean, I've been to Breeders' Cups. I've been to Derbies. You mentioned Hong Kong earlier. I think just going to Hong Kong, seeing how horse racing is so much a part of that culture. Like, they have Wednesday night racing there at Happy Valley, and it's all, really like 18 to like 25-year-olds, like largely big party tents, betting, just left and right. Just an incredible scene. I love night racing, and I would love to have more night racing here. That's like one thing I would love to see more of here. It's just a way to get people who obviously can't go during the day or who can't make a trip, like have night racing in the bigger cities, like at Gulfstream in New York. Like I wish we had that.
There's always more energy at night.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I love the early starts, and today's an early post time at the spa, but when they did twilight racing a little bit, you felt more of a buzz late in the day, night racing. And I know there are going to be traditionalists out there who are like, Onorato, shut up. We don't want lights at Saratoga Racecourse. And I get it. I'm not saying that. But in maybe some of the other venues around the country, we could probably pull that off. All right, last time out of the show here. When we come back, the Mets, the New York Mets, the first place New York Mets on August 6th.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
DeGrom is back.
Don't jinx it.
Scherzer today.
Stop.
Get Dan's thoughts on his New York Mets right after this.
I don't care what kind of stories that's been told on you. That may be a lot of things in life you used to do. If you can't give true love to me, I'll understand. Just do the best you can.
Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs and 95 calories.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on for cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair. You can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, Genair, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
And now back to Onorato and Company, brought to you by Alpenhaus.
All right, we've done the Saratoga thing as we promised to do always on Saturdays here on Onorato and Company. Saturdays in Saratoga, of course. We're at a different location each and every Saturday around the Spa City. Come check us out here on News Channel 13's Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Taking the show on the road to the Horseshoe for back-to-back Saturdays for Alabama Saturday and Traverse Saturday, and might even sneak in Ciro's next week. Stay tuned for details on next week's show. All right, Dan, lifelong Mets fan. Doubleheader against the Braves today. 5 games in 4 days.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stretch. 9 games in 15 days, I think, against the Braves. How are we feeling about your Mets?
I feel okay. I mean, I am, sort of waiting for it to fall apart just because it's so part of the DNA, right? Like as a Mets fan, you're just waiting for the collapse. But, look, we were talking during the break. Yes, this year feels a little different. I like there's a lot more consistency and balance in the lineup. I do wish we would have picked up another arm at the trade deadline. Obviously, to date, Michael Gibbons' two appearances have not been great.
Yep.
And so, yeah, look, we're going to have to stay healthy. I say we. I'm like, come on, like guys.
That's a fan.
We're going to have to stay healthy, and we're just going to need consistency from the lineup because we've had guys disappear for periods at a time. I think Pete Alonso is worthy of discussion as an MVP candidate. I know his numbers don't match up with like Goldschmidt and Riley.
Yeah.
It's just a drop off of them, but I think Alonso, like as a true MVP, as a guy who's been there, when everyone else has fallen into slumps, he's been there all year long. And again, DeGrom, Scherzer have to stay healthy. Guys like Walker, Carrasco, I think they've overperformed, and I think there's going to be a little bit of regression from them, which is fine as long as DeGrom and Scherzer stay healthy and do what they're supposed to do.
Subway Series?
I don't like the Yankees at all this year. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like the Yankees are falling apart. I feel much better about the Mets. I wouldn't have said this most years. I feel much better. That Yankee rotation is in shambles. I'm sorry. And the bullpen is not what it was. Losing King was a big loss. And so I don't like them at all. I mean, in the AL, I think the Astros are pretty darn tough.
Yeah, for sure. Carol, you said it. We like the Braves around here. You know that. You watch the show. I'm a diehard Braves fan, and I've said many times on the show that this year, compared to years in the past, the Mets scare me. It was nice to get the Friday night win because I thought this weekend could spiral out of control pretty quickly with Scherzer and DeGrom still to come. All right, before I let you go, Dan, and thank you for doing this, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a while that we've been able to connect. I appreciate you popping on the show. And maybe we'll do it Bama or Travers Saturday too.
I love it.
Stay tuned for that. When I was a Cub reporter, they like to say, fresh out of college, at my first job, I was probably 3 months in or so. Watertown, New York, covering news. I had an intern with me named Dan Tordjman, finishing up at Syracuse University, and they shut down I-81. Devastating accident.
Yeah.
And as a reporter, you're like,
what do I get?
Got to get the story. Okay. So southbound 81 is completely shut down for multiple exits. So Dan and I won't lump you. I was the one driving. I find a way to get onto the highway off another exit. We may have even UE'd. Do we use a little cut through? What's the statute of limitations on something like this? And we're driving northbound on the southbound interstate. Now, we arrive upon authorities, firefighters, police officers, and they're like, what the are you guys doing? I'm like, well, no one was answering the phone at the fire station or the police station. I thought, well, this is the best way to get the information. Can you guys tell us what happened? Get the out of here. And I thought, well, I'm probably going to get fired.
It's done.
It didn't happen. And Dan didn't lose his internship. And we have that stupid story to tell each and every year. I think we laugh about it every time we see each other.
Yeah, no doubt. It's Watertown. Like the only I could think of. I mean, I tell this story all the time too. Like Syracuse was cold, was snowy. Like, and I grew up in the city. It's not like I grew up in Florida.
Yep.
But going to Watertown for the like every weekend, I'd make that drive, and you get all that snow and I remember running one night. It was so cold. We had to be like 10 below zero. And like, I remember running to the hotel door because I just wanted to get into the hotel. And I remember reaching for the door. It was a metal door handle. And my fingers literally stuck to the handle of the door. That's how cold it was. It was like, I had to like rip my hands off. That's how cold it was. So that's my first memory. And then and you know what's funny when you talk about in retrospect, like when I was interning, it didn't matter to me that you were a couple months in. Like, I thought you were like a 20-year like veteran. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's so good. I don't know what. Like,
then he's driving the wrong way on the highway.
Like, I can never do this.
Guy has no clue.
It's like, I'll never do this. This guy's amazing. So no, that was great. And I was actually just telling my wife, like, it's incredible. It's almost 20 years now, which is just scary. Time flies, but It's been great. It's great to see what you're doing. And it's just. We all go on a journey, and with maturity and like the ability to look back, you realize sometimes how lucky you are to get the breaks that you get and to do what you love. And I think we're both doing that, which is great.
You said it, man. You're killing it with ABR. Continued success, dude. Thank you for joining us. Dan Tordjman, check him out on all the social channels, and ABR as well, AmericasBestRacing.net. Thanks for watching Onorato Company, everybody. We're back next Saturday. Location to be determined, but I'm thinking we'll throw Ciro's a little bit of love and then look for us at the Horseshoe on Alabama and Traverse Saturday. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great weekend. Good luck with your bets on Whitney Day.